Your boy back in the building. It's your boy Willpower, man. Today we got a video by Omeezy titled "He Cheated on His Wife, Then Made a Podcast About It." Now I've been seeing this kind of trending on the net, so I went straight to YouTube because I was like I need to make a video about this, y'all. So let's see what is going on.
I'm Ned Fulmer. 3 years ago, cheated on my wife with my producer.
Yo, dang.
Represented myself as a kind of wife guy. I betrayed
Got caught.
my spouse.
That's embarrassing, bro.
Friends, family, and I betrayed you.
Not only did you having an affair it shattered our marriage, but it also, all of that guilt and shame, you hoisted that on me. You gave that to me. And now I have to carry that around for the rest of my life.
I don't think it's fair that as a society, you're put in that position. It's certainly not true.
What?
And no, it's not something that I imagined as I was doing that. I think none of it was.
Just take me out the group chat. Just take me out the group chat. I don't know why this happens, but just take me out the group chat. We as a society have this fascination with being added to group chats. Now, whether we do it voluntarily or involuntarily, it just continuously happens. And this time is no different than any other situation. Now, we've seen celebrities cheat before and we be added to the group chat of their discussion. I'm thinking of the Red Table Talk with August Alsina, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Will Smith with the entanglement situation. Now, this situation is similar, but also kind of different. That one had Jada Pinkett Smith, the woman in the situation, cheating and displaying that she was the narcissist to Will Smith, but also kind of exposed that he was a narcissist as well. This time, it is Ned from the Try Guys and his wife exposing how Ned is a narcissist, but maybe also his wife is? I don't know. Maybe it's more similar than I thought. Kind of got to be a narcissist in order to do your relationship content out there like this very intimate moment. Now, the reason why...
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why you would... I feel like that's not a genuine apology or I don't think it's anything genuine when you bring it to the internet like this. Whenever I got problems in my personal life, I don't ever bring it to the internet. That's just... It was always weird to me. I never did it. I know a lot of people on my Snapchat do it. I be like, bro, you got everybody just tapped into your whole life. I know more about you than you know about me, which is kind of scary. And I was just never the type of person to especially put my relationship business on the internet, because I feel like not only is it not genuine, but it's just weird, bro. You got all these monitoring spirits just watching your whole life.
This fiasco that happened 3 years ago back in 2022 is so big is because the Try Guys were a staple on YouTube, one of the bigger channels with 8 million subscribers.
Oh, this dude's famous?
On BuzzFeed. And honestly, they were some of the most authentic content on the platform. Now, back in 2020, Ned got outed as cheating with his engaged secretary at the time and was ultimately voted out of the collective group.
Ned Fulmer. She was engaged? Bro, I didn't even know this dude was famous like that. I thought it was just some random dude who cheated on his wife with his producer and then ended up making a whole podcast about it. I was gonna say that's a really weird situation.
Is no longer working with the Try Guys.
Suffice to say, we found that Ned had engaged in conduct unbecoming of our team, and we knew that we could not move forward with him. So on Friday, September 16th, the three of us signed written consent of the members of Second Try LLC approving the removal of Ned as a manager and an employee.
Now, any normal situation, you probably get away with a little cheating, but there were two things that made this crossover into a boundary that was probably way over the top. And first, there was the fact that, it dealt with somebody who was an employee, which is a super conflict of interest. And two, Ned was a wife guy. That's what he claimed to be. He was my wife type of dude. Now, naturally, this would rock the community. A staple, a guy who claimed to be a wife guy, a guy and a girl who people thought were just the pinnacle of relationship success, which I think is pretty strange that people tether themselves to these celebrity relationships. But nonetheless, this kind of hurt a lot of people. But I promise you, it did not hurt worse than listening to the cringe cast that they put on when they came back together. One of the weirdest things, but the thing that I love most about the internet is that, especially of these people who exist on the internet, you're gonna get both sides. The performance that is put on in this podcast, though, is one worth watching because it's just one of the strangest things that I consumed on a rather boring weekend.
All of that guilt and shame, you hoisted that on me. And now I have to carry that around for the rest of my life.
I don't think it's fair that as a society, you're put in that position. We've redefined our relationship, not as partners, romantic partners.
Yeah.
Those sort of family or platonic partners and pals,
Oh
if you
yeah.
want to say pals.
Yeah, there's
Don't
some,
Google me.
Don't Google me.
Google.
there's definitely something all the way wrong with this. Like, I don't know what happened behind closed doors, but I have a feeling that she was so pissed that she was like, "All right, I'm taking BBC from now on, or it's an open relationship from now on type of deal. Like instead of divorcing, we just going, it's an open relationship. Like you can't pretty much stop me from messing with other dudes. I'm not gonna stop you messing with other girls, but I know it's gonna be hard for you because you're not gonna be able to, you know what I'm saying? And then it's crazy that he was messing with an engaged woman. Like this, there's so many layers to this, bro. I'm sure that engaged woman is no longer engaged, so they might as well get together. But I bet you that passion ain't even there because all that was a passionate moment. They never actually truly loved each other. They just thought it was taboo. And if you don't know what taboo means, that just means like it's not supposed to be happening. You're not supposed to be messing with your coworkers and stuff like that. That's taboo because it's taboo. So yeah, man, that's just so many layers to this.
Yeah, you
Just
probably don't want to
get to
Google
know
me.
me first.
It's just so bad though.
Don't want to be just sort of seen as the sum of your mistakes for me or the sum of your past for you.
People ask me, like, do you forgive Ned for what he did? And I mean, the answer is no, absolutely not. No, fuck no.
Now let's get one thing straight. Social media addiction is real, not just for the consumers, but also for the creators as well. There is no reason that they should be having this very intimate conversation that is filled with cringiness and exposing of their true natures for public consumption. This is a very private act, but because they are so addicted to attention and clout, that's the only reason why they are putting this display on for people to see. Again, it's almost like we're the third person in the group chat and you can't just leave because it becomes a text message. iOS needs to do something about that.
Right.
That has to stop. They start off by framing it as this is something that they need. And while I might agree with them, please take us out the group chat because we aren't a part of that 10-year marriage with 2 kids that you had.
It's honest.
Oh, they had kids too?
Brutal, but it's necessary for her to move forward, and I'm grateful for the chance to witness it. As disappointed as we were that something so private and painful became such a public spectacle, I get why people were so outraged, and I understand that is the reason that she can't move forward with any sort of public thing without addressing this. So this is that.
Now, the reason why they're
You're cooked.
claiming that they're putting on this whole spectacle is because they just can't move past this. I mean, wherever they go, whether they look left, right, up, down, they cannot get past the fact that Ned cheated. It's affecting both of them in their real life.
And for the last 3 years, I've just hidden behind the scandal. Now I can't get
Oh.
out from behind it.
Yeah, because it's a
Wow.
big step to like sit down and do what we're doing and to talk about it.
Right. But even like going out in public with like my kids or just going out to dinner or something like that,
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that people see is the scandal.
Yeah, I'm going to call
Yeah,
cap on
man.
that one. I'm pretty sure that most people walking down the street don't know who you are, going to
Right.
dinner, don't care about who you and your kids are, aren't asking you about you.
But that still don't justify nothing in this situation. They probably don't know who you is, but it's the thing where I feel like people will. Well, she probably has this like, she has this perception of herself, and I'm a believer of like how you see yourself is how you tend to see everybody else in the world. So I'm sure she was just seeing this in herself, and so she thought in her mind that everybody was looking at her this way, and all she saw was the scandal. But in reality, that's just what her life was surrounded by in her mind, and it was really affecting her, obviously in an emotional way. She has kids with this guy, and that doesn't justify what he did was right. Especially like, bro, cheating is wrong regardless of who it's with, but with the coworker and also an engaged woman, man, you better be careful. You better be watching your back for the dude that was engaged to her. He might come around and pop you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they say there's a quote that goes, all is fair in love and war, and you know her fiance might crash out on you, and on top of that, though, your wife might crash out on you. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? I've seen so many stories like where people do something like this, and then the wife and the other partner, the other person, like they get together just to get like a little revenge tap, stuff like that. But man, yeah, but that don't justify nothing because she like that because nobody else was recognizing her in public.
your husband.
still-
I think that that's a very weird thing to say. Now, granted, there are people in this world that are parasocial. I've covered that numerous times. But I just don't believe that that is the case. This is two narcissists trying to get their talking points off. Now, when two narcissists get together, it becomes a pissing match as to who can be the more front-facing person, who can get the most attention. And because he is the cheater, Ned is the clear winner in this conversation. Granted, I'm only giving his ex-wife a little bit of flack here because she wants to be on camera having this conversation. She really shouldn't do this. I think that it's nasty work. But Ned
don't agree
is
they
a
should be on
person who
camera
can't even
either.
take accountability in this conversation for the damage that he's done. They're sitting here having a conversation as to the guilt and shame that she has to carry for the rest of her life. And instead of owning up to it, Ned brings in somebody who I didn't even think was a factor in this conversation.
Not only did you having an affair just it shattered our marriage, but it also like all of that guilt and shame, you like hoisted that on me. Like you gave that to me. And now I have to carry that around for the rest of my life.
I don't think it's fair that as a society you're put in that position. It's certainly not true. And no, it's not something
What does he
that
mean by
I
that?
imagined as I
What
was.
does he mean by that as a society thing? I don't get that at all. I feel like for her, yeah, it's like it's a very damaging experience, like especially for like the kids. I heard a quote that goes like this, like you should definitely you need to be a man of integrity, especially when you have kids like this, like you have kids like watching you and looking up to you, because they your wife chose you for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Your kids didn't choose you. You chose to have them. So you know it's hard. It's definitely hard on the kids too when you do things like this, because you let them down too. You know what I'm saying? You let your kids down. You let your wife down. But to kind of like to add on to that topic, I think that she should find it in herself to forgive. Obviously, like that don't mean you got to get back together with him. Like that's totally up to her whether she want to continue the marriage or not. But I think she should, like, in order to like free herself from the guilt and the shame, she should just let go. You know what I'm saying, and then figure out what to do next.
Doing that, I think none of it was.
Wait, did he just blame society? Did they get married to society?
That's
As
what
a
I'm saying. I'm like,
society
what
we're
do you
put into
mean?
this? No, as
What
your
do you mean as a
ex-wife, she's put
society?
into this, and you did it. Like you cheated on her. You're the one who betrayed your vows, and you did it so sloppy. The fact that Ariel disclosed in this conversation that the way that she found out was by somebody sending her a picture means that you had to be doing stuff in public with somebody else who
Come
was
on.
also engaged. Might I add you? You didn't even recognize how big you were. Like this was a fan who sent her the picture. You're nasty,
Goofy,
gang.
bro.
And now you're sitting here exploiting your wife's trauma that you caused, by the way, for clicks and views. Do I believe she should have signed up for this? Absolutely not. But the fact that this is even an option for this to have taken place in the public eye because you want to get some sort of monetary gain from you cheating on your ex-wife is some of the weirdest shit I've ever seen. And I'm sick of this content brain society that we live in. Everything that we see, do, interact with, the traumas that we live in real time is not for public consumption. I don't know why people think that that is the case. It's weird. And later down the line, it always has negative impact on the person that is in the video.
Let Ned Fulmer be a reminder to you guys that not everyone needs a podcast, especially him. And naturally, a big reason why is because he threw away his marriage to have an affair with his producer. But you know what else? He's just fucking boring. When he was with the Try Guys, he did the whole wife guy thing because he just wasn't interesting or cool enough to carry his own weight. And now, even in this weird comeback he's attempting, he's still just riding the coattails of his wife.
It's not clicking to him that nobody gives a fuck. He's
My
like,
breath stink. I gotta go
I
brush my
broke your
teeth, y'all.
trust. We don't give a fuck, Ned. We actually don't give a fuck, and we didn't like you at the time. We felt bad for your wife. We didn't give a fuck about you.
I, at first, was like, this feels like a humiliation ritual. Like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we doing anything for this man? And then I was like, oh, she hates this guy. She hates this guy, and she wants us all to see what she sees, because he's insufferable. Also, why did he seem so grossly unprepared for this interview? Sir, it's been 3 years. Why are you caught off guard by the questions that you're asking her? And why are you asking the questions so creepy? At the end of the day, she said She doesn't forgive him, and they are no longer together. And that's a win, okay? A win is a win.
Ned was ultimately a legacy act on YouTube who built a brand from being just available and consistent on the internet for a long time. Now, his growth in story is amazing from like a creator perspective, but ultimately he just wasn't this like funny guy or entertaining guy. But the fact that he feels as if he had to come onto the platform and give us, the fans or the viewers, an apology or a reasoning or a video explaining as to what happened and let his ex-wife dunk on him in public is showing that, you know, he is just so content brain that he does not understand the gravity of the things that he did, but rather, you know, getting his shit off in the public eye. It's okay for him to, you know, get dumped on by his wife because he's gonna get 780,000 views and a couple commentary channels talking about him. That's the way he's gonna jumpstart his career, because he's a fucking loser. Now, I would say that I implore you to go back and watch this podcast, but when I say it is really, really cringe, because Ned is dry asking these, you know, questions. He clearly looks unprepared. He actually looks uncomfortable because I guess he didn't think that his ex-wife was going to lay into him like this. His answers are BS, and honestly, it just made me want to cut it off. This was worse than like a train wreck. But there has to be something said about these people who are so content focused and so content forward that they are willing to put their most intimate personal life details on public display, even if it doesn't result in the outcome that they specifically want. Like, even if they get dunked on for the view, it's okay, because at the end of the day, they got the view. I don't think that's a good way of going about cultivating some sort of audience or, you know, gaining some sort of traction. This was actually a really, really tough watch. I'm really surprised that I stuck through the whole thing. Ned, you're a weirdo, gang.
Yeah, man, that's honestly a crazy. I didn't know about Ned. This is my first time actually hearing about the Try Guys, man. But bro, I didn't know there's actually a lot of layers to this. Like I said, for the wife that, you know, got cheated on, I think that she should just find it in herself to forgive. And, you know, because I believe forgiveness is for you. It's not for anybody else. Like, it's not saying that, oh, okay, I'm going to still be with you. I'm going to still be buddy with you. Anything like that. I feel like it's going to allow her to, you know what I'm saying, see people for who they were and be able to move on and, you know, continue her life in a graceful way. As for Ned, bro, you need to learn to not, like, you need to learn to have some more integrity, to not, A, mess with somebody else's girl, B, mess with your coworker, and C, cheat on your wife. Those are like the 3 no-nos. And it's been like apparently it's been like a 3-year scandal. And that's very, very embarrassing. And the fact that the first thing you thought was, oh, how can I make content on this? That just, like I said, it doesn't feel like a genuine apology. It doesn't seem like a genuine situation where you can actually turn things around and make things better for yourself. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I appreciate y'all tuning into this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We almost to 1K, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace out, y'all.